Well, happy Sunday morning, everybody. Welcome to the program. Such as it is, it's not so much a program on Sunday mornings as it is just a little get together for coffee and talking about stuff and going a little back and forth, a little chit and chat. Hey, Romeldian, good to see you over in the chat room. And Uncle Dave Potter is over in the chat room as well. I hope you all have your coffee or your tea and you're ready to start your day off. Well, hey, Morgan Snow. Happy early Sunday morning. It's 9 o'clock here, so it's kind of late, but unless you stayed up late, and then it's early. So, Raini's even up and around, milling around upstairs. We got the boy going to camp today, the 13-year-old, almost 13-year-old boy in about 3 weeks. And he's going to Boy Scout camp today for about a week. And Rowan, the 10-year-old girl, went to camp. She went to a Bible camp with friends of hers yesterday. No, they leave this morning. She did an overnight last night, and she'll be gone until Wednesday, I believe it is. So 2 kids down. 2 kids down. Only the 7-year-old left. So, last night, here's a bit of great news for you. My 7-year-old, who hates to have her hair brushed and doesn't brush it herself or comb it, and she's got that thick, heavy, coarse, wild hair. And Uncle Dave has seen it up close and personal. He knows what it's like when she's got that. And Raini will put it in a braid to try to control it a little bit, and the kid won't brush it or comb it. She won't let us brush it or comb it. She squirms and fights, and it's like we have to sedate her to do that. Well, it gets into a clump that's more like one big, fat, thick dreadlock. And so last night we finally talked to her. I told her, your older sisters, Abby and Bryn, I said, I used to brush their hair every day, and I would put ponytails in them until they got old enough where in their teens where they were doing it themselves. And even then, sometimes they'd have me do it. And I said, and she still, Ellery wasn't buying it. And so she, yeah, tangled Muppet. Isn't that the truth? And so, wow, it's bright in here. Whew. We broadcast every night, and now it's daytime, so it's like, it burns us. So, last night, she didn't believe me that I used to brush Abby and Bryn's hair. And so, we called up Abby at about 8 o'clock last night, and we said, Abby, we had her on camera, and I said, this little girl would like to ask you a question. Did Dad brush your hair? Yes, he did, Abby said, and he brushed it so much, and he put ponytails in it, and he'd do braids, and she said, Dad did it so well, and every day she said, I didn't even know how to do it myself, put my own ponytail in when I first started doing it for myself. So she said I had to learn all over again. And so then Rowan or Ellery was okay with it. Now, I spent about an hour and a half last night at the kitchen. We were at the kitchen sink, and Ellery had it all planned out, of course. Ellery's the director of everything. She had it all planned out, and she filled the one side of the sink with warm water, and she got the conditioner, special conditioner Mom got her, and detangle her. And she said, okay, I'm ready. And she laid a towel out on the countertop. Dave, you know what our countertop looks like. And it was clean, by the way. I had done the dishes and cleaned the kitchen, so it was spotless. But she lays a towel out, lays down, and sticks her hair in the sink. Okay. And so I said, well, we can get it wet that way. That's the way she envisioned it. But I said, let's start adding conditioner. And I would take conditioner. I used a half a bottle of conditioner on that hair last night. And I had to put it in, and I even lightly rub the hair in between my hands like this with the conditioner. and it just started to loosen up. That hair was so dry in there, and not brittle, but it was dry. It just soaked that conditioner right up and became smooth and silky, and I was able to I had to work all through her hair, all the way around, and then underneath the underneath layer, and do the same thing. We got it all out, and she had all these long, frilly locks that were all conditioned. And so finally, she'd had enough. She's okay, I'm done. And I said, it's not quite finished. We don't quite have it done yet. And so Raini took her downstairs, put her in the bathtub, let her soak a while with that conditioner, and then gave her a break and said, this morning, oh, come here. Oh, you can't. You're naked. A little child's running around the house naked. She takes after her mom, or as Uncle Dave would say, Olsen. And it's the Olsen blood. And so when you get some clothes on, come on over here. We want to show off your beautiful hair. And she's got a braid in it this morning, but it finally all separated out, and it's silky and it's smooth. And we'll do a little more detangler in it today to finish it off and get it nice. And there it is, Uncle Dave, Olsen. That's the delay we have, about 30 seconds. So she looks beautiful. Her hair is beautiful. She's my beautiful little moppy girl. It's still wild. It's all over the place, but Raini's got a braid in the back of it. So thick, wild, beautiful hair. She'll be a hair model someday. She'll be a movie star, and she'll have that thick mane of hair. So how can I compare it? Kirstie Alley, when you first saw her in like Star Trek, the movies back in the 80s. And Ellery wants you to know, when she's a teenager, she aspires to work at Dairy Queen. Yes, free ice cream. So when you get some clothes on, child, come on over. We'll show off your beautiful hair. So we got to work that. That was an hour and a half of my night last night, was detangling hair. Hey, Brianna. You know, you have no banners or anything posted. Oh, I've got something posted. Did I not tag you in it? I thought it was posted over on my Facebook. Let me double check. It posts automatically from my broadcasting software. Yeah, it's there. It's back a little bit. Yeah, there it is. It says it's playing on my Facebook page. I just may not have got you tagged in it, Brianna. Sorry about that. I always have all my regular listeners and my good friends. I tag them. And that might have been it. No, I meant your video now. Oh, the video now? Yeah, I don't have the banners up because it's technically not the Intrepid radio program. It's Sunday morning. So I deliberately left them off this morning. But you know what I could do? I could put up the banner like that. Oh, here we go. Here's Ellery. See, now it doesn't look much different from the front. Here, come here. Turn around. Show them the back. Look at that. Look at the size of that braid. Gives you the idea of the thickness of her hair. But all of this, we worked it all out, all the stuff. We still have to do some fine detailing on it today with some detangler. But look at that beautiful hair. And it's wild because she just got up. But what you doing there? Oh, you're going to take it out. She's going to take out the braid, and she'll show you. So there we go. So that was about an hour and a half of our evening last night. And hi, Beth Kirkham. And everybody coming in. If I missed you coming in. So Uncle Dave said, you look beautiful. See, look at that hair now. It was so matted. And so, like I said, it was like one big dreadlock last night. And I had to take, when I put the conditioner in it, I had to take for about an hour and a half. We did this, just separating it all out. And it wasn't, once you got the upper layer, you had to go through to the thick under layer. I mean, it was wild. Look at that. Look how beautiful your hair is. You can't see it from the front. But there we go. We got all those thick tangles out. How's it feel? Look at her. She even looks like Raini. She's not just got the Olsen blood. She looks like Raini. You got mom's ears. Got mom's ears. Give those back to her. She has no sense of humor yet this morning. And you see pictures of Raini at 7 years old, 8 years old. She looks just like Rowan and just like Ellery. So, and you see pictures of Raini when she's a little bit younger. She looks just like her sister Kate. Hi, beautiful mom. Come on over, say hello. Oh. There's the beautiful mom. Not
Show
quite
them
awake
your
yet.
cup. Show them your cup.
What's your cup say? Bitch, please. I'm fucking fabulous. There you go. It's a unicorn. So, get us all in. The image of her mom. Yeah, look at that. Look at the two of them. Side by side. Why, I almost couldn't tell you apart, except you're smaller. That's how I tell you apart.
But I have my earrings and mom doesn't.
Yeah. Ellery has her earrings in, she wants you to know. So that's how you can tell them apart. So how you doing today, mama?
I'm tired.
You sleep well?
I don't know.
Don't know yet?
The blue dinosaurs.
Try to get your whole head in there. There you are. So how's everybody else? Did you have fun last night? You haven't had fun until you've spent an hour and a half detangling your small child's hair. What you doing there? What you doing there? Just click on it if that's what you're trying to do.
Oh, hang on.
Here, right click it. There, left click it. There you go. Oh, that's what Brianna had to say. She got hair like yours now, Brianna. In that picture, especially. So there you are. How's that for a Sunday morning?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to go sit down because I'm tired and don't want to stand.
All right. You should tune us in over there and come in live.
I'll just yell across the room because otherwise it does that echoey beep beep.
Kaylee's hair was all the way down to her butt, says Uncle Dave. How long is yours? Stand up. Just all the way down to the small of her back. Oh, you can't see it. Here, turn that way just a little bit. Just down to the small of her back if you stretch it. Right at her waistband on her shorts. Boom. So there it is. So, not super auspicious radio for a Sunday morning, but casual radio. Hey, MF. Just had to stop by to see my old friends. Enjoy your Sunday. MF, I don't know who you are by that moniker. See my old friends. He says MF. Anybody know who that is? I'm not quite sure who that is. Hey, Marlise. Good to see you as well. Ellery, say good morning, Marlise. Hi.
Stop.
Stop, Dad. Ooh, you got hairy legs. You're like a monkey. That's your evolution. What? Don't say that? Oh, that's a bad thing to say, I guess. I thought it was a cute thing to say. It's little blonde fuzzies. So, you're only 7. So, maybe it's Field Guy. I don't know. MF with a kitty and a blue bow in its hair. I don't know if that's Field Guy. So, yeah, it's cute. Beth Kirkham, I thought so. So there you go. Look at that hair. Now you can put in a little detangler and comb it yourself if you want. That's about how your mom's hair looked when I met her. Except she had a more style and it was more. So, what are you guys up to today? What'd you do last night? What have you done this weekend so far that's cool and fun? By the way, I used to have hair on my legs too. It all went away. So I got smooth legs, naturally smooth. I got a little tuft of hair on my chest right there, and that's about it. Well, some of my arms. So,
Can you take me to Starbucks?
can I take you to Starbucks? No,
Why?
because Starbucks is all the way in Stillwater.
So?
We'd have to drive to Stillwater.
So?
That's another city over. That's across the state line.
So?
15 minutes away.
So?
Dave spent yesterday manning a grill. Oh, how'd that go, Dave?
Uncle Dave, when can you take me to Mongolian barbecue?
Oh, Matt Finn. I'm often called the MFer, but it's not me. See, I didn't put even those initials together. Master Finn is not MF. What now? Mongolian barbecue.
Yeah, when's Uncle Dave gonna take me to Mongolian barbecue?
I don't know. Ask him.
I did.
Ask him right now. Hey, Uncle Dave, she's got a question for you.
When can you take me to Mongolian barbecue?
There you go, Uncle Dave. So, Marlise, what's going on? And everybody, by the way, if you're joining this show and you haven't been here on Sunday mornings for a long time or have never been here on Sunday morning, Sunday morning is very informal, as you can tell. We usually don't have a lesson plan of any kind or a presentation. Sometimes we do. Many times we're talking about just current events, and I'm going to share some current events. Maybe this week, says Uncle Dave, right there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you put it up. All right. So maybe this week. We'll see. Don't push him too hard on that. He'll make time. Morgan Snow watched The Mandalorian. How much of The Mandalorian did you watch? Was it like your first foray you're into The Mandalorian? Or have you seen it before? You're just catching up. I love Mongolian barbecue. Brianna, you should come with us. We should all go to the Mongolian barbecue.
Take Haley.
Yeah. Only problem, you take a whole family to Mongolian barbecue. That's basically, folks, it's a huge Chinese buffet place in Stillwater. And it's good. It's always been there. It's got they call it teppanyaki, where you go up and you can, they've got the regular.
Koi fish.
They have koi fish, but not to eat. They're in the fountain. But it's got the big, Chinese buffet bar. It's got sushi bar. It's also on the other end got the teppanyaki bar, where you fill your bowl full of all the ingredients and you take it up and they fry it up on the big round burner thing, and they make your stir fry there. So it's got a wide array. I love Mongolian barbecue. Used to be Khan's Mongolian barbecue. What you doing? You gonna brush your hair on air? That rhymed. So my son turned me on to it. Oh, to Mandalorian. Yeah. It's a very good show. I've mentioned this before. You don't like The Mandalorian? Star Wars? She only likes Baby Yoda, who's not even Yoda. So.
I like Baby Yoda.
Oh, the burner thing is a Mongolian grill. Why teppanyaki? What's teppanyaki? Is that define that for us, Chef Dave? Teppanyaki, that's where they do it at your table, right? Or something like that. So.
Oh my God.
What? Child's taking over. So, the burner thing's the Mongolian grill. That's pretty cool. They use these big long sticks, like chopsticks, only they're really long, and they swish it all around that big flat round burner, and they make your stuff. They used to at cons, when you'd put a $1 in the tip jar, they'd hit the gong. Bong! So, but that's a good place to eat. But I was going to say, when you start taking the whole family to Mongolian barbecue, it's reasonably priced. It's, it's about like any other Chinese buffet, maybe a little bit more, a couple bucks more. But you take the whole family, you're dropping $100. Easy. So I get it. Stylish Birch said, my son asked me to play Fork Knife, aka Fortnite, yeah, with him. And his friends said, I'm not allowed to play anymore. I win too much. Now, there you go. I should play Fortnite with my son and his friends sometime. But it's dumb, but it's fun, says Raini. Oh, it's not so bright anymore. You dropped the big overhead lights. It's good. It's better. Ruben Fast Horse just popped in. How you doing, Ruben?
Hey, Honey Wash Day. Good morning. Good morning.
Misu.
Live from New York. It's me.
It's Ruben Fast Horse. So good to see you. You got a show going on today after this one, don't you? A class.
Nice.
You have a class going on today, don't you?
I have a class at noon. So
New York, yeah. So 11 o'clock here, Central. Do you have the link? If you've got the link, post it in the chat room.
I'm getting double messages from you, so.
Uh-oh. What's it? It's doubling up? Do you have another program open that's playing it?
Should I step out and step back in? Yeah, I do. Let me turn them off.
You're getting feedback. You're getting the feedback from the show, which is 30-second delayed.
Okay, that's better. I shut everything down, so it's just you.
Go. There you go. So
that's
do you have a link you can share for your class today?
I do. I will definitely send that.
Post it in the chat room if you can.
Yeah, I will. I'll do that. The chat's open, so I'll send the link. If you're interested in...
You know, I might be able to do that for you right now. I think you sent that to me.
I did.
Tell people about it while I'm looking for it here.
Okay, it's it should be through a Robert Wood, who's a ex-Baltimore policeman as well as an ex-Navy officer. And he's in my class. He works as a Title IX coordinator.
I see it all here.
And he's brought me to his college 3 times to speak to his students at Gwend Mercy University in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, just north of Philly. So I've been doing that.
There's the link, by the way. And then you have to have is it the password you need to get in? The meeting ID and passcode?
That should be on there on the bottom.
I saw that, and I didn't know how much text it would take. Here's the
I just start from
password
at the bottom where it says Robert Wood, and then I control.
I got that.
Yeah.
There we go. I think it's all in there.
But,
so is it going to be... who is Ruben, says Marlise Kolb. You haven't been around for a while, Marlise. Ruben, we've told everybody this many times, but Marlise, we'll share it with you right now. I met Ruben about 20 years ago on the reenactor living history edutainer circuit. We were doing the 42nd Royal Highlanders, the Scottish soldiers who dressed in the British redcoats fought for the British king during the French and Indian War, 1750s. And Ruben was doing his Lakota Native American dance and language show, and he dressed. Now there's no. I don't mean anything negative by this. When you go to a powwow, that's a little different the way they costume now. He was dressed very authentically.
Period.
17th,
Correct.
18th century as Lakota. When I always say, no offense, Ruben, when you were 20 years ago, like me, you were a little skinnier, you were a little more svelte, a little better looking. You've just aged now. But I always said of Ruben, he looked like somebody who wrote off the set of Dances with Wolves. He was an elegant, Native American man. The lean, sinewy muscles, the long, silky black hair down his back. And when he dressed the part, he looked like he walked right out of history. And so that's how we met. And Ruben is a Lakota Sioux. Born on, I think you were born on Standing Rock, and you grew up on Pine Ridge and reservations up here in the Dakotas. And we've been friends ever since we met 20 years ago. I used to refer to Ruben years ago. I'm just remembering this now, not that I don't anymore, but I used to refer to Ruben as my priest. He was the man I would go to if I had questions, if I had problems, if I just wanted to blow steam. He lived with us for a little while with his wife. And did you have the first baby when you were living with us? I can't remember. That was 2001, right in there when you were living with us. And when my older daughters, my twins, were at home, who are now 30, they were 11 years old. Ruben was teaching them Lakota language. And I'm trying to remember the one where they were telling you, they were complaining one day when they came home from school that the boy at school was messing with them and pushed their books on the floor. And what do we say to him in Lakota? And I think you said Tata Hokshala? Tata Hokshala?
Yeah. Da. Like da.
Da.
Retarded boy.
There it is.
So I was teaching them the insult in Lakota just to get back at them.
Yes, Marlies, Ruben is an Indian. He's a savage redskin.
Not the dot. Not Indian, the dot.
Dot, no feather. Feather, no dot. There
the pull start. The pull. You got to pull the feather to pull start me.
There it is. He's even included in the Constitution of the United States, or the Declaration, as a savage. So
savage.
Savage.
I can get away with this with Scotty because I've known him for so long. And so my take on all this, ladies and gentlemen, is he approached me and asked me to join to be a Mohawk scout for his regiment.
We're doing a reenactment of a battle, and we needed some Mohawk scouts.
Yep, to join King George's army, so I did. And then he put me in a kilt. Yes. And I still wear a kilt today, so industrial kilt, but anyway.
He always looked good when he was bare chested and he wore what do you call that chest piece that's got the long beads?
Yeah, it's a breastplate.
Like a breastplate. And you've seen it's beads, the long skinny beads that go out from the center, and his feather in his hair and all of that, and a kilt and moccasins.
Very tribal. Very tribal.
There's Brianna. Finally got her coffee. Yay, Brianna. Finally got your coffee. I need more, but I'm out. I've just got half a cup of cold coffee. You want to do me a favor?
No.
Run up and put that in for 30 seconds.
No.
In the microwave. No. Please. It just warms it up for me.
You can do it.
Happy. All right. You take over the show and I'll go do it.
Yay!
All right, folks. Don't push any buttons you're not supposed to push. You go ahead. You sit right here. We'll tip this down for you. And you talk with Ruben for 2 minutes. I'll be right back, folks.
So what grade are you in, Brianna?
I'm not Brianna.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm in first grade. Oh,
tell me your name again.
Ellery.
Ellery. Oh, Ellery. Beautiful name. So you're in first grade?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. I was a first grade teacher, so I can ask the right questions. Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Do you want one? We'll see about that. So when was the last time you saw your sisters, Abby and Bryn?
When they came over for our parade.
Oh, nice. That's nice. Are you getting back into school?
Yeah.
Good. Feels good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get out and about. Get away from dad and mom.
Well,
Do
only a
your-
little bit. I don't like school.
Oh, you don't? You're a learner that learns off the page. That's good. That's good. Read everything you can, write everything you can, draw everything you can, sing everything you can, dance everything you can. That's the best way. And travel as much as you can. That's good. Well, I'm glad you look very nice. I like your long hair. Looks just like me. So what's your favorite thing you like to do?
Sleep.
Sleep. That's a good thing too. Me too. That's why I wake up at noon. I go to bed late. I'm like a night. They call it a night owl. I'm up late.
Oh, there. Now I'm back. So she walked out of the conversation on you.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's great, Ruben, but I'm going now.
Yeah.
Bye.
It's funny because when I wear my kilt and some guys, some big tough blokes, as I call them blokes,
Yeah.
harsh guys like Eric Nelson, big guys, they'll look at me and say, "Hey man, why are you wearing a skirt?"
A skirt.
And a skirt. And I look at them and I do what you taught me. You say, it's not really a skirt unless I wear my heels.
Yeah. It's not a skirt unless I wear the matching heels. Some guys would say, I killed the last man who called it a skirt. So,
I killed the last
yeah.
man. That's funny.
Yeah, we would always, don't bring her over here. Because it's too much hassle. She wants to pick up the dog and bring the dog over here.
Oh.
Now, let's not do that, child. So anyway.
Yeah. No, everything is good. Everything is good here. Hot is.
Go ahead.
It's just saying it's so hot here. I'm sweating like a hooker in church. It's just.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh boy.
There's Uncle Dave. Let's get Uncle Dave in here.
You bet.
Who did?
Hey, morning.
What you get?
How are you, Ruben?
Hey, Uncle Dave.
Good day, Harry Potter. Good day.
David Potter.
Potter. Indeed.
What's the deal, Ruben? You and I have fashionable hair, but Scotty's just fallen out or something. Like,
Yeah, what's with that?
Well, he's
Ruben, look at this. Look at this. That's what it's doing. It's like disappearing.
mine's as long in front as it is in back.
Yeah. I'm
Hey.
growing it out though.
There you go. There you go.
I keep telling Scotty I'm growing this so I can make him a toupee.
There you go. If I grow my hair out, I'll look like Gollum.
Oh, jeez.
Bald with a few long wisps. No, you cannot shave my hair.
Schmeagle. That's right.
I told Raini I was going to just shave it all off. I'm so tired of it. And she said she's not allowing me.
Oh, there you go.
No.
They have the last say.
Saying in the chat room that those were the good old days back when we were
Yes.
younger and doing the rendezvous.
So that was
Fresher.
all for you, Marlise. That's
vibrant.
Ruben.
Brianna,
And
you
Dave
should
was
call
part
in.
of the regiment, and so Dave's known Ruben about
That's
as long
right.
as I have.
I remember Dave. He owes me $20.
Yeah. Where's my $20?
I gotta tell you a funny story. I was at a convention one year and I got on the elevator and a friend of mine said, "Hey Dave, do you have that $20 you borrowed?" And I said, "Yeah." And I gave it to him. And the kid next to him said, "James, do you have that $20 I loaned you?" And took it.
Nice.
And it went all the way around and it ended up in Eric Nelson's hand. And I said, "Eric, you owe me $20." And I came back in my pocket and said, "Thanks for doing business, gentlemen," and got off the elevator.
Everybody's even now.
It was
It
all
was like I should have kept my mouth shut.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we got to live for now. I'm happy at 51. The mind is 18, but the body is 51.
That's
And
it.
I'm happy just with a good drink, a good meal, and a good sleep. That's
You
about
were
it.
gonna say a good hump. That's what you were gonna say. You know,
Sure.
it's like now that I'm 61. You know, it's like with my wife. Everything's the same as it was, but now she's got to make an appointment 2 weeks in advance for sex.
There you
Let
go.
me get that in the book here so I can get it worked up. But what? What are you shushing me about? I kiss Raini, and the kids get in the middle. Don't. That's so icky. That's so icky. Don't. We hug, and this one gets in the middle. I'm gonna cast you off. And they get in the middle. So
Brianna, you should call in.
Brianna should call in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I say I can do everything I used to do when I was 21. It just hurts more now. Stop.
Oh
now.
yeah,
It's enough.
that's true. I don't know if you get it, but from the waist down, my thighs, my buttocks, my calves, shins, even my toes, I get cramps.
Muscular now?
Cramps, and
Yeah.
wakes me up. That's
Don't mess with me too much.
toe
I'm trying to tell you.
cramps are the worst. I mean, they wake me up in the middle of the night and just like, wow, when did this happen? You know?
I know. Well, I was just laying in bed the other day, and I'm cramping up in my hamstrings. I'm like, why is that?
You need
I
more
don't
potassium.
exercise those.
You need more
But
potassium.
yeah, it's crampy. Everything's crampy, and I've gotten very fond of saying with my old friends, when we were younger, we used to talk about cars, chicks, cash, adventure, stuff like that. Now it's like we all compare how many organs we're missing and who's got the next knee surgery coming up. So that's the way it is nowadays.
And what's the best muscle rub? You know, like
My wife. Yes.
you should
Yeah,
get this
what's the
stuff.
best
This
muscle rub?
really works. It's good. It's
Yeah. Blue
Yeah.
Emu.
to quote my
Blue
father.
Emu or Rainy.
My father said,
Would you stop getting your head in the way and
"Thank
mess
you, Dad.
with
Low
me?
potassium. Eat a banana." Yeah. So my father used to say, "Son, it's hell getting old. It's hell getting old."
Yeah.
And I understand that now. So God rest his soul. You know, I just
Yes.
understand it.
Yeah.
Life goes on.
It does.
If you stand still, you rust. So you got to keep
It'll
moving.
never rust.
Yeah, Ellery will never rust.
It's constant movement.
My butt
Yeah, we're the old
hurts.
folks now. Okay, if your butt hurts, get out.
He's like a box full of jumping
I've
beans.
thrown you to the floor.
Ellery is a
No.
shark.
Come on
She's
now.
got to keep moving. She's got to keep moving,
Yeah.
lest she sink.
Fearing stagnation.
Ellery, settle.
Sit still now, or you'll have to get down forever. Forever and a day.
In a day.
What was that? What movie? Where's this line come from? Yes, Centurion, throw him to the floor.
It's Monty Python, I think.
Yes.
Biggest dickus.
Dickus. What's funny about that name? Or his wife? Continentia buttocks. Stop messing with me now. I'm trying to talk.
It's
Put you in
funny.
the other room. Hey, Kelly. Kelly is a good old friend. I met her through my mom's karaoke business years ago, 30 years ago. I think I've known you, Kelly, for 30 years. And just saw her last weekend at my mom's 80th birthday party.
Sweet.
So,
God
good to
love
see
you,
you,
God
Kelly.
keep you. That's an Irish blessing. God love you, God keep you.
There it is.
I'm not Irish, though.
Here's to the woman in the pretty red shoes. Wait,
There.
that's an Irish one too. So it's something. There's something else to that. May the road come up to meet you before it kicks you in the ass, or something
There you
like
go.
that.
The Irish are like the Cherokee. There's a little of that in everyone, I think.
Mm.
It's
Mhm.
crazy. The quote I love too is It's a terrible sight for a sober man.
Terrible sight for a sober man.
And
we used to give lots of quotes when we were walking around in our kilts all the time. We'd come up with lots of quotes from like Rob Roy and Braveheart. One in Rob
Burning's
Roy.
one thing, Shaggins one thing, Burning's
Shaggins
another.
one thing, Burning's another. So yeah, we had a lot of them. Business. What's your business? Business. Best done outside. The drunk guy that was challenging him in the tavern.
It's my island. It's my island.
So yes,
It's yeah. Those are the fresher, younger days that I recall, and being in the Renaissance Fair. And I'm just like 6 miles from Tuxedo, New York, which is where the New York Ren Fair is.
Yep.
And
yes.
they're coming back online, so that's great. And gentlemen, we have a good friend that still works the fair, Arsene Dupont. He replaced Puke and Snot at the Ren Fair when they striked out or something. They wanted more money or whatever, but he came.
One of them passed.
Are you serious?
Yeah, one of them passed, and they had clones that were out doing shows for them, people they'd hire to do their show, and then one of them passed, and they've really pulled back, I think, since that. The other one still does the show with a different partner, but it's just not the same.
Just not the same.
Ruben Marlise wants to know where you grew up.
I'm putting it in the chat. I grew up on the. I'm an enrolled member of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, Sitting Bull's people, that straddles the border of North and South Dakota. But I grew up on the poorest place in America called the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, Ogallala Sioux tribe. But I came to reenacting and performing as period correct as I could be, studying it. And I'm a teacher by trade, school teacher. And I came across Scotty in the reenactments in Bloomington when they had the Highland Brigade, 32nd?
Highland 42nd Royal Highlanders.
And they had like a Civil War camp. They had voyageurs. And Leon Stanzalone and I were the only native.
Leon Stanzalone.
Yep. Who's not native, but does a good job.
He's like a big Swede.
Yeah.
He's like 6'8", and this massive man.
So it's been really good. I mean, I've made so many friends in the way Dave and Scotty, my brothers there, and just moving on. I've been able to teach at NYU in Manhattan, the Lakota language, as well as speak at the UN for 4 times. 2019 was deemed the year of indigenous languages, and I was the only Native American. There were people from Laplanders from Finland. There were people from the Amazon and other parts of the world, but no Native Americans. So you
were it.
I was the token guy, and and I always tell this joke. You said something earlier, Scotty, that reminded me.
Kelly Bell, by the way, over in the chat room.
A group of contingency of Lakota went to the Vatican.
Oh yeah,
Pope. When the Pope comes out and blesses everybody, and it's called the Holy See, and so they stood there, and when he came out to bless them, they looked at each other, and they shook their heads, and then they walked away. So this large group, brown mob of native people, walked away, and the Pope was like, "Bring them back, bring them to my lounge." So they brought them back, and they were all standing in front of the Pope, and he said, "I'm so glad you're here. It's great. Yada yada yada. but why did you leave when I was blessing you? And they said, oh, that's what you were doing. Because in Indian Sign Language, this means take your teepee down and get the hell out of here. Take your teepee down and get the hell out of here. Great, great camp move. You break camp Indian Sign Language. Take your teepee down and get the hell out of here.
Nice.
So yeah, there's a lot of Indian jokes that I MC and do. Like I was in the grocery store with my Susie, and Susie and I were talking in Lakota, and this white guy behind me was kind of huffy and puffy, folded his arms, and is like, oh. And he said, "You people should, this is America. You should speak English. You should be speaking English. Otherwise, go back to your own country and speak your language." So I looked at Susie and I said, okay. And we camped out in his backyard for two months. Go back to your country.
Go back to where you came from.
or
go back to where you came from.
That's right. Standing in line again at the hardware store, and I bought two bags of potting soil, 10 pounds. And the guy was like, "Oh, so what are you planting, sir, if I may ask?" And I said, "Well, I'm buying my land back a bag at a time."
Nice.
So in the face of craziness, COVID, mass shootings, everything that's going on now, you got to find some kind of humor and laughter, and otherwise we're just miserable.
Yeah,
miserable.
Right.
So it's I put up a post and Scotty liked it. I love watching the old timers, and what I mean by that is the Dean Martin roasts.
Yeah.
Don Rickles, all those guys
Back from the 70s, yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't curse. They brought you to the doorstep, and then it was
a innuendo, but they didn't have to.
Yep. Nothing sexual, no curse words, and it was great. It was amazing, that kind of way. And I used to buy a lot of Red Skelton.
Yeah.
Red Skelton. Brilliant. And he did one where at the end of the DVD, he was at the UN on stage, and he didn't say one word, but he played the waiter.
Oh,
and
nice.
He had the apron on and whatnot, and then he was pushing a cart, and he just mimed, and it was so funny. And that's the kind of humor I love, and I would love to be as an entertainer, performer, is to be able to not speak but make people laugh. Just the best medicine, laugh. And he did that.
Humor is universal.
Yep. And everybody there was from different countries of the world, and they all were laughing together as the humanity of it all, So I think that's great. Just be.
Well, laughing is contagious.
That particular clip you shared with me where they were all roasting Dean Martin, and all of them, they were all roasting Don Rickles. And,
Foster Brooks. Yep.
Foster Brooks came out.
Oh my God.
Now, if any of you remember Foster Brooks, his comic bit was he played a drunk guy. And he was always on Johnny Carson, the late night with Johnny Carson, and all those comedy routines. And his thing was to come up, and always talk like that. And he staggers up to the podium at this roast of Don Rickles, and he says something like, "Well, I don't know, Don Pickles over here." He says, "We have a connection. I've slept with your wife many times." And that was as bad and raunchy as it got.
Yeah.
And he played off of that humor through the whole thing.
Yeah. So, Mr. Rickles.
Pickles, you called him once?
By the way, you're out of scotch.
Yeah, you're out of scotch. Oh, yeah.
Pick up some pretzels.
The last time I was visiting your wife at your house. Oh, you're out of scotch, by the way. Yeah.
we like to watch your show, and we like to watch your show, and sometimes we put the sound on.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you come home, when I know I have to go because I got to cheese it.
Yeah.
By the way, you're out of Velveeta.
Yes. Cat, could you do that on the bathroom tile floor? Cat's over there on the rug going,
Oh yeah.
it's like, damn it, go in the bathroom where there's a tile floor. You can wipe that up. Well, he stopped. So our cat's older than I am in cat years. And he's just like fat old cat. That Oscar. Dave, you know Oscar.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's good with me. He's like, hey, I'm cool. I'm cool.
Yeah, it's funny because we got two cats. We got Sapa, which is Lakota for black.
Black.
He's all black, and then we got Mr. Mustache. He's got a little white. He's a tuxedo.
He's been up on the back of your sofa.
Yeah, I know. He's behind me, and it's funny because I heard something where the difference between cats and dogs is that dogs look at you and say, "You feed me, you love me, you wash me, you pet me. You must be
your leg."
And then the cats say, "You feed me, you love me, you wash me. I must be God."
Yes, yes. That's pretty much it. Yeah, our cat he's like he's really cool. You know, he's got a good personality, but he doesn't do anything. It's like I look at him some days he's meowing. I get up. His signal to be fed is whenever I appear in the morning. Ow, ow, ow. And he follows me around. I'm like, shut up. I haven't had coffee yet. I'll feed you in a minute. Fatso, go lay down. I asked him the other morning. He didn't answer me, but I said, what have you done for me lately? I said, I feed you every day. I said, what do? You shit in a box. You down in the downstairs bathroom. I said, you throw up hairballs on the floor. Every now and then you wake me up in the middle of the night laying on his side. To lay on his side next to me on the bed and take his paws on my face. What? So cats. Hey, Matthew Sainsbury from Barbados. Good to see you,
Maybe
brother.
you should train him to make that special copy where it passes through the entrails of a cat.
Oh, yeah.
You
there
know,
you go.
I use this quote from Gandalf on Lakotas but applies to cats, as you're saying, where he says, I'll say it in the cat sense, a cat is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely on time. A Lakota is never late.
A wizard is never late or early. He arrives precisely when he meant to. Something like that.
Something like that. That's true. Then that's a cat. So
yeah, cat just cats will give you affection when they feel like it. You're like, okay, yep. I feel like it now. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Cat, they're over there like, oh, pet me. Oh, thank you. Oh, and then they claw you or bite you. When you're done, stop petting me now. Yeah, our cat would. Oscar, he was declawed when we first got him. We got him from a shelter like 7 years ago, something like that. And he was the one that just crawled up at my feet. He chose me. I was the chosen one. And the kids liked him, but he came and he just laid on the floor at my feet. He kept wanting to be pet. Let me pick him up. And he was a sleek black cat back then. He was about 8 years old. And 7 or 8, something like that. And he was a cool cat. And I said, okay, let's take him home. And so he's my cat. But, he's got no claws. Thanks.
Thank the gods.
Thanks for that. I'd be ripping up your furniture right now if my former owners hadn't taken out my claws. So, anyway.
It's interesting. Dave was saying earlier about the Irish being similar to the Cherokee. I don't know if you know it, Dave, but the during the potato famine, the Choctaw tribe sent I don't know how much, but a certain amount of money that they gathered, and they were poor themselves, and they sent it to Ireland to help aid. And you can go there in Dublin now and see what the Irish have done, because the Irish
there
don't forget. They don't forget.
Yeah.
And they put up these huge, size 6 feet tall feathers in a circle, and then illuminated with lights for the night to honor the Choctaw people for their generosity.
I always say the Lakota were the Cherokee who could ride horses.
There you go.
We're out of here, man. Take your TP and get out.
Take your TP and get the hell out of here. Take your TP and get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, that's the saving grace is just in the face of all that atrocities that have happened to not just Native but also Irish and Scottish people and people in Cameroon and
tell me, linguistically, I believe this is Lakota. It might be Dakota. What does the phrase "hoiwechi" mean? If I'm saying it right, hoiwechi.
Hoiwechi. Wechi. Hoiwechi. Wachi. I would say not Weichi, but Wachi. Wachi. It is time to dance. It is time to dance.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, that's interesting. We had a guy tell us that meant get out. Because Raini, when we had the ranch house, we did a paranormal investigation. We had another team that was over, and Raini got the words hoiwechi, and she had no idea what it meant. But she wasn't sure of how it was pronounced.
Yeah.
Like the Ola Choi Chinese food. So
Oh yeah, la choy Chinese soy sauce that you buy in the store. That's what's stuck in her head. It's something like la choy.
That was the closest thing. And,
It sounded like
Ola Choi, but there was the E
Olsen.
Shut up. And there was I don't know, but yeah.
Is she undressing again?
I'm getting dressed.
That works too.
You were dressed when I saw you earlier.
But nice.
She's getting other things on for the day.
But Ola Choi is kind of like the closest thing that I could think of so that I could remember the word. But,
okay. That changes it because Hola Choi.
Oh, what?
It changes it in the sense of Ho Le. Le is like French. This Cho is or Choya lo or Choya is it is good. It is good. And so it is good. That's what that means.
Either it is good or let's dance or something like that.
Wachi is the dance, but Hola Choi means it is good. And you know, if
we still have that EVP, or did that get erased?
That was on a disc. All those EVPs from the upper bedroom and stuff like that are just all gone.
That was never on disc. That was all mental imaging and words. And
that was mental imaging. She got that.
Oh.
And that's how they speak. The spirits will speak like that. And
basically, we were told they thought he was saying, "I'm okay here. You can move along. I'm okay.
I'm Hola Choi." You know, and when Indians,
it's good here.
When Native people, Lakota anyway, see each other. If I saw Scotty at the mall in Rapid City and we're a distance apart where we can't talk, but we recognize each other, we take our hand flat over our chest and then we just go like that. Are you good? I'm good.
Yep.
We're good. So yeah, it's that's really cool. That's really cool that you heard.
Yeah.
The other side.
We thought so. That was over on the land in not far from here. It's within an hour of here. It doesn't seem that far because we're still in western Wisconsin, but it takes you about 45 minutes drive south of here, backcountry roads to get to where we used to live, where the ranch was. Were you ever out at the ranch, Ruben? I think those were the missing years for us. In
I think
between.
so. I think I've seen it at least once.
Okay.
But I saw a post that you put out about some property you were looking at. There was a big barn.
Yeah, that's up here.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that ranch, and not far from there, as you go down toward Lake Pepin, which is on the St. Croix River.
Oh,
where
God,
it
yeah.
expands
Beautiful.
out into the big lake over by Maiden Rock, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
It's the river that
Well,
divides
it's where the St.
Minnesota.
Croix joins the Mississippi.
Yes.
Nice.
And on your way down, just a few miles south of where we lived in Ellsworth, Wisconsin, on the side road across a farmer's field, there was the low hills of Wisconsin. There's a low hill that was going up about, length of a few football fields away. And in the side, and they take care of it as a big arrow, a straight line with an arrow on it, pointing toward Lake Pepin. And they say it's, they date it back about 1,000 years. So they say it's Native American. I don't know anything about it. The other than that, I could look it up and find out all the details. There's a big arrow down near Hager City, Wisconsin, which is Hager City's 4 buildings, and the phone company.
3 bars in a phone company.
Yeah, there it is. 3 bars in the phone company.
The important thing, so you can make a call from the bar and say, "Pick me up. I'm ready to come home."
Yeah.
It's funny because I love that area. I've got such fond memories of that rendezvous at
Yes.
on the river there.
Are you talking about Crossroads Rendezvous? That's over on the other side of Wisconsin,
Or the Big Muddy.
by Lake Michigan.
It's the one where they have the flea market.
Well, they all have a flea.
They all have everybody throws their wares down. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be modern at those rendezvous. It's all, just so folks know, when they do those markets, it's everybody's doing their period, 17th, 18th century type of goods and stuff.
Wares. Yeah.
I love going through those shows. So
not Eagle River. I've been there too, but in Wisconsin.
Eagle River is one. Big Island was the big one we used to do down in Albert Lee, Minnesota.
The last one of the year, because sometimes it would snow. It would snow.
The Big Island, it would snow. It was always the first weekend of October.
Yep.
But there's one along the Mississippi called the Big Muddy, and it often snows there as well. It's like real late in the season.
I think that's the one, Dave, Big Muddy, that I remember in the fall of the year. But Big Island was always kind of
near Wabasha, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah,
it was
always...
one year it snowed at Big Island, first weekend in October. Now it wasn't like, folks, it wasn't like a blanket of snow. It was, a little bit of snow on the grass. It got cold enough. And we're all sleeping in canvas troop tents. Using straw and hay to block off the cold air from coming underneath the flaps of your tent.
And make bedding.
And it could get cold. But sometimes I got into, a couple of years later, we'd open up our tents for the public. So it's period style. They could see what an 18th century soldier lived like. And I had a big propane tank with the double-headed heater on it. So you light that up, and it'd be like 80 degrees inside your tent. And so I'd throw that in the corner, and I'd throw a big thing of tartan fabric over it, so nobody could see it, and bunch it all up in the corner. We all tension bed.
We all cheated. But you had the hay, and that's good for if you didn't want to get up to go pee. You could just pee, lift your kilt, lift your kilt and pee, and just roll.
Yeah. I always went outside.
Makes a bad fog in the tent. Not good.
Yeah. There was one year I didn't have that heater, and inside that canvas troop tent, I lit about 15 candles.
Oh no!
Little wax candles, period candles, and it actually generated warmth inside that tent.
Get out.
Sean and I one year, it was because we had a big marquee tent,
Yeah,
And
he had a big George Washington tent, they call it.
Sean and I took a bucket and put some coals in it and stuck it in the center of the tent to provide heat. Woke up in the morning covered in ash and soot.
Nice.
Just,
Everything.
Well-
and it was dewy, so it just clung to everything.
Oh God! I stayed in the one pole when I could, but of course I love a teepee. It's hard to get up and put up a teepee and whatnot and transport it. But yeah, I remember those days because my nipples were hard. So poke an eye out, But it's
See, Rainy likes me like that. You know why? He likes to pinch him when I'm not looking. I'm like, ow!
And we were all younger men, and it was like, Lass, it could get real cold last night. I don't want you to freeze to death. You should come sleep with me.
Yeah. Those were the days.
right. You're right, Dave. You got to sleep with a
Need a
woman.
warm place to sleep, lass.
She's your heater, you know,
pretty
and
Yeah.
keep it warm.
Well,
The
guys
hard-
are always the heaters, though. Guys are usually the ones that will throw off the blankets because we're too hot, and women are like, I had.
Their
Sorry,
feet-
Dave. Sorry,
their
Dave.
feet-
This is a sore point for you, probably. I don't want to bring up any old wounds, but an old girlfriend of yours,
Yeah.
blonde, after you guys had broken up, she used to come and sleep in my trailer at festival.
Oh, yeah. She did that with lots of men.
And she would crawl
The
into
reason we
my
broke
bed.
up.
She would crawl into my bed naked, didn't want to do anything. She just, I don't know why she needed to be naked because she didn't want to do anything. She just wanted the warmth of my body.
Yeah.
And
she,
that's
she
all.
did that with lots of men. That's why we broke up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there it is.
Well, with women, as you gentlemen well know, that women's butts and their feet are ice,
Yes, they
Cold.
are.
and they want to put it on you.
Like,
So they,
that's it. Oh, my butt's cold. I need to put this against your belly. No.
it's funny you say that. Because the
Come here and
Inuit
say that.
nations, the Eskimo Inuit, once called Eskimo. Hey, Rainy,
Hey.
the Inuit would welcome their men by putting
That
their
feels warm to me.
the men's feet and the men's hands under the woman's armpits and keep them warm them up that way. And their igloos. It was crazy.
You want to warm your fingers?
Just don't smell them.
Right.
That's right. What the hell?
I was telling Scotty what you guys couldn't hear was maybe if you dated older women, there wouldn't be such the cold because I'm hitting that like pre-menopause stage and I'm fucking hot all the time.
She's hot.
You are hot.
Even when we sleep together, it's like that is your side of the bed. You stay
Wow,
over
chunk,
there.
chunk, chunk.
Don't touch me. I don't want to sweat. I don't want to have
She's
your
hot.
sweat on me.
She's right. Rainy, you're right, because my Susie is older than I am. I'm not going to say how much older, but she passed menopause and she's hot. She just sleeps in her t-shirt and panties and is fine.
Hot.
Yeah.
And I'm in a sweater. I'm in a cardigan. Just
Well, I've gotten that way now. I'm wearing a t-shirt now, but some days she's burning up and the air conditioner's cranked. And I'm like, freezing in here. I went you were here.
see your breath.
Last week, Dave, when you were here on Friday last
Yeah.
week, I had to go up and put a sweater on, my big woolly sweater, right after the radio show. I'm like, I'm freezing.
I'm used to that. That's a geriatric thing. I deal with my parents all the time. They're
It's
So,
hell
yeah,
getting old. It's hell
but
getting
Rainy,
old.
everybody.
I look
knows
older, but I'm younger.
that I say this. Rainy's 42. I'm pushing 62.
I'm 51.
But she is she's turned into a furnace these days, and I'm the cold one.
I'm 25. I just had some rough years.
Yeah, it's not the years, honey. It's the
The
mileage.
mileage.
Take your teepee down and get the hell out of here.
Get the hell out. You hear that joke he told? The context.
Oh gosh. It's so good to see you, Dave. God, it's been ages.
Yeah.
How to finish getting my boy ready.
It's so good to see you,
It's
baby.
so good to see you, Rainy. it's I'm not sure if you gentlemen are still doing reenactments or
Not as much.
Not as much. I occasionally will go. In
Rare is
fact, I'm
the
getting
day.
ready to do a thing in September, but
I was going to ask you, when is that one in Grand Portage? Grand Portage.
I don't know when it is.
it's an early one, isn't it?
I thought it was in the autumn because I
Hey,
played
David Otness.
there. But
Ooh, almost spilled my coffee.
that's one that I do miss. You can see the witch tree out on the little island there, and
I don't think I've ever been to that one at Grand Portage.
it's really great because
It's
it's
like a true Canadian, by the way.
border north of Duluth, and it has a powwow that the Grand Portage Ojibwa put on, and that's the first time I had 3 burgers: an elk burger, a bison burger, and a moose burger. And
Nice.
I
All
wore
in
my
one sitting?
yeah, beautiful. It was just awesome. It was such a cool place.
Yeah.
And then we played lacrosse, just like in Last of the Mohicans, all the native guys in the loincloths and leggings, and some of the white guys, loincloths and leggings and moccasins. And
My good friend Dave Turner, who's a Ojibwe, he plays lacrosse that way, and his daughter was a huge player when she was in high school. She just top ranked. There were colleges that wanted her to come and play for them.
Which
Wow.
is that somebody I know? Was that
Dave Turner, Dave and Maggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She owned the coffee shop.
Yeah, Maggie
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
coffee shop.
I did a mural on that wall.
Yeah,
Of that
yeah.
coffee shop like 20 years ago. So-
Ages ago. They don't have the shop anymore, but yeah. And Tilly has a little one of her own now. She's married and has a little
Tilly's
baby.
Bean, that was the name of it. Tilly's
Yeah.
Bean. She was a baby back then.
Yep.
Or a little kid, anyway.
I-
You know what I did on the walls of their coffee shop? Cartoon versions of Native Americans playing lacrosse. So
I played lacrosse for when I lived in Milwaukee. I played with. There's a big festival on the waterfront. There's so many other festivals: Asian Mood Festival, Arabian Nights. All the nationalities did their own festivals, and the last one was Indian Summer, which was a big to do. It had a beer garden, it had a powwow, it had villages, and we played a lacrosse game, and it was a mixture of Oneida.
see you, Beth Kirkham.
See about Oneida Indians that would come down and play with the local Milwaukee Indians, and we all had our own teams.
Where?
Sometimes we would play Marquette.
Right.
It was pretty cool, and man, that was the best game and the toughest game I played football in grade school, and that was tough. But
Football or soccer?
football, like in oval football, pigskin.
Oh, okay. Not the European football.
No.
So American football.
But
There you go.
lacrosse was tough. I was a midi, a middleman midi, where I was running constantly in the field, and I was the only Sioux Indian. They're all Oneida, Ojibwa, Menominee, Potawatomi. So it was great. It was really, really cool, and it's such a thinking sport. I love it. I love it.
Dave, I got this for you, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know what this is?
It's to hold the phone.
Beard
No,
trimmer.
it's a tripod, and you hook your phone up to that.
Yeah, to hold the phone.
So you
yeah.
don't have to hold your phone through the whole show.
I was gonna say, Ruben, do you know Larry Yazzie?
Yes, I know. I've heard of him, and I met him once.
So I worked on a film. We did a Native American film, and I did the costuming for it. Met him through that. He's a brilliant dancer as well.
Yes, he is.
And he's been going around the world dancing in different places, being filmed in all these places all around the world.
He was in Times Square not too long ago. Yep. I think that's
that
great.
the guy who does.
He's
by any
fancy.
chance, I have this guy on my Instagram that I follow. Native American. He dances, But he always starts in like civilian clothes, t-shirt and shorts and tennis shoes. And and the music's starting. He's standing in his living room or at some place around the world, different places. And he'll start and the music will start and he'll kick his shoe in the air and he catches it with his foot and it changes and he's in the same spot, but he's dancing in full regalia and to the music. So I don't know if it's the same guy you're talking about.
I haven't seen that video, but that I could totally see him doing that.
Yeah, I used to kind of be a contrariist, which in Lakota we call a heyoka, a sacred clown that says I love you or says I hate you, and he means I love you, and he says hello when he means goodbye. Contrariist. And I grew up in a Catholic setting, so I lived with Marist Brothers out of Poughkeepsie, New York, in Pine Ridge, and I went to a Jesuit high school where all the priests were teachers, but they were in black robes, the black robes. Mm-hmm. So I still have that, and I wear it in the fall and the winter. But I would play on the street corner in Rapid City, my flute, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. all day.
He plays flute as well. That's why I thought you guys might know each other.
I've heard of him. Yep. They always say, because Yazi is such a, fast horse is such a common name like Smith and Jones in the Indian world or Lakota world, but other tribes. But the Dene people say, if you're not a Yazi, then you must be gay. Because that's another name, Bagay. Bagay and Yazi are the big family names. If you're not a Yazi, you must be gay. So it's we have our own jokes in our own way and stuff like that. But I've heard of Larry Yazi.
Yeah. So
yes, Matthew, I play the flute. I can play
him on here doing it one of these days, unless you're going to do it right now.
I can do it right now. It's not a big deal.
Do something for us.
Sure, definitely.
Play us a tune, you savage red man.
See, Scott is the only one that could call me that.
Dave will pay you in beads.
Only because I call myself that. So.
That's right. When Ruben lived with us, they got their big trailer, or their RV, their driving RV. And Ruben called it, and I was shocked when he said this to me. He says, yeah, this is our Res on wheels.
So, Matthew, this is a walnut flute. I also have another one where it is smaller than this. It's 6-hole. Sometimes they're 5-hole. The other one my Susie bought me is in the car, but it's maple wood. So when I smell it in the opening, it smells like pancakes. It smells like maple syrup. But this one's walnut, and this is my first flute I've had ever since I've known Scotty for 25 plus years. And this is called the Bird. And what it is you blow, you put your mouth there and you blow into it, and it goes through. Oh, here we go. It goes through, you blow it, the wind, your breath, and it comes out of this hole. Then it hits the bird, which is that, and it's redirected into the smaller hole, and then you manipulate it here. So I always say, my uncle gave me this 25, 30 years ago, and he never said, you got to hold it like this, you got to play it like this, you got to say it, He said, learn the song, the love song first, and then transcribe it to the flute. And so I tell all guys, my instruction to guys is, you get a flute, you want to put your mouth on it like you're putting it on a woman's nipple.
There it is. Well, all that translates very well to all guys. Oh, I get it now.
Oh, no wonder I've been blowing it wrong.
No wonder I haven't been playing right.
That's it right there. So it's because it was strictly for wooing, courting women. And if you couldn't get her by marriage, by horses, and buying her in that way as we did, then you would play this near her lodge at night. and she would slide under the teepee and elope. And then you can't do anything when they elope. That it's done. But the old women would. Everybody had a designated area in the teepee, and the grandmother would always tie herself and tie her granddaughter to her, so she couldn't escape. So I'm just going to play this. There you go.
Scotty's young daughter Rowan is starting to play the flute now.
That's all I can play.
When I was over there last week,
she just yelled
Rowan
from
played me
downstairs.
4 or
She
5
said, "Knock
songs.
that shit off." So much for my courting music.
There you go. Get over here. So I'll do it in a traditional way of playing the song as well as singing it. And this song says, "Oteke na ota chante mashicha." It's with much difficulty that my heart is sad. Dohaya una iotie wakia cha mawaunte. Every time you're near, I feel like I want to die. Now, that's not a love song.
In a good way.
But even
there many times.
And so, this, I don't know how old this song is. It could be 300, 200 years old. But I'll play it, then I'll sing it, and you can get an idea. So. O te hikena o ta chante mashije. O te hikena o ta chante mashije. O te hikena o ta chante mashije do haya una iyotie wakia cha iyokshija mawa unte de o te hikena o ta chante mashije yamo.
Outstanding.
Thank you. And that's the same flute I used all the time,
Will
Scott.
you marry me?
Beautiful.
Yep, we're going to have to elope. That's it.
Yes, yes. That was gorgeous. That was wonderful.
And to me, that's how.
And the father would come out and say, "Take your teepee and get out."
Take your TV and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, you're right there. You're right there. Stealing his daughter and whatnot. So. Oh, God.
Well, guys, we got about 5 minutes. We got to wrap up a little early today because we got to take our son Flynn over for Boy Scout camp, and I don't want to just talk my radio through that while he's leaving for a week.
There's Mr. Mustache.
Hey, Mr. Mustache, just like mine, just shaped differently.
But yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. And I got class at noon, so
Let me put that link up here again. Well, the link is way back in the chat room, folks. But here is that link to go to hear Ruben's class in a half an hour.
Yep, it's a 2-hour class.
Go to this link.
Talking about Native issues, and I got people across the globe. I got people from Spain, Finland, England, Australia.
Hi, hey, hey there. Thanks for the flute demonstration, though, because I find it was very soothing to listen to. Thanks very much. Yeah.
You bet. Thank you for asking.
How you doing,
good.
Matthew? Matthew's is over in Barbados.
Barbados. Nice.
He's got all the rum.
He's got.
There's a lot of the Arawaks and Caribs was here before the African slaves. You see? Yeah.
That's true, and that's something I talk about in the sense of before Africans were brought to America. We were the slaves until.
Yeah.
But people would walk into a Native American village, anywhere from Maine to Florida, and sometimes come across a ghost village. Nobody there, like everybody dropped everything. And it's because of smallpox and diseases, not like the monkeypox now and the COVID.
Yeah,
and stuff.
because the monkeypox, there are a lot of wild allegations about where it's coming from, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
there's a colony that was missing. I think it was before the Jamestown colony in Virginia, called the Raleigh colony. I think it was Sir Walter Raleigh or something. I found a colony there, but it suddenly vanished.
Roanoke.
Yeah.
Roanoke,
There's a lot of scholars question what happened to those people.
By the way, they believe they found the lost colony. It's on one of the little islands, all the little spotted islands, all through I think the Chesapeake Bay area,
yeah.
and they found all kinds of artifacts there is a tribe of people that live there. I mean, they live modern day, just like a reservation, but there's a town there on this little island, and they're finding that all kinds of traditions they have, from the language they speak, the traditions they have, some of the things, this little village that's still there, and then artifacts they're digging up. They're digging up, 17th century China, fine China ware, and artifacts from people who would have lived there. And they believe that's what was the thing that was carved on the tree? What did
I'm trying to think the word. I believe it was a native word.
Yeah, it's like
that they carved, and they believe that was the name of that island at the time.
And that's what that meant. It wasn't as cryptic as they thought. They were trying to leave a message. We went to this island.
Okay.
The lost.
They were
colony.
taken in by the tribe there because they were starving, and they were like, "No, you don't have to eat each other. Come over here."
Roanoke Island.
Yeah.
And it was established by Sir Walter Raleigh. And the cryptic message, or what they're calling the cryptic message that was left, I'm looking for it here to see it carved on the tree.
But they found it several places around the village. They left them several indicators of where they were going, and they just didn't understand it at the time.
Yes. I'm looking for that word just to refamiliarize ourselves with it.
I want to say it started with an M.
It's Croatoan.
Oh, yeah, Croatoan.
And something like that.
There's, and there's so many, Matthew, there's so many, 27 states have Native American names: Hawaii, Alaska, Wisconsin, Chicago. Chicago means smelly place, as you well know. So, because it was a swamp. And
Miami too. I think Miami is a Native American word as well too, if my memory serves me right.
There's a tribe in Indiana that's Miami, as well.
Croatoa, yeah.
There is a whole
because
bunch along
I watched.
the Gulf Coast of Mayan names that are in there. They believe the Mayans came up through that Gulf Coast region into Florida.
You're right there, Dave, because the Mississippi was more than just what we know today. It was a trading route.
Yeah.
So you find mica in North Dakota, down in Louisiana or Mississippi, people traded, and there's pyramids in Malaysia. There's pyramids in Egypt.
Yeah.
Pyramids, Azteca, Mayan pyramids in Central America. There was an American pyramid.
There's several American pyramids.
Chucalissa, which is just outside of Memphis, Tennessee. So they got around, and the real people that came here first were African, Matthew.
Yeah.
Seafaring people, and then the Vikings as well.
The Olmecs. Right. Yep. The Olmecs in Central America, if you look at their pictures and their statues, they have African lips and things like that. Yeah, there's some African traces there. Some scholars say that Africans and Native Americans intermarry as well too before the Europeans came here too. I've heard that theory. Yeah.
It's true, because you look at the outfits of the Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw Creek, and Seminole people, the 5 civilized nations that are known as. You look at some of their beadwork in their regalia at the powwows. There's a mixture of African and Native American that have come together to design in that way. So that's why not all African Americans are African. They're Native American as well. And there's a book called Black Indians that nobody knows about, and it's a great book. Look that up. I don't know the author, but the Black Indians.
Okay, sounds interesting. I wanted to ask you something.
Teacher when I was in high school that we thought was black, light-skinned black. He said he was Micmac Indian.
Nova Scotia. Yep. From Canada.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Ruben a question. Is there like an eternal flame burning for the Cherokee Indians following the story of the Cherokee and the Trail of Tears?
I met a guy named Tommy Wildcat, and he's a flutist as well on my travels, and he looks very Native American. He's got long hair, darker skin than I do, and he said, Ruben, it's not Cherokee. It's Jalaki, like with a J. Jalaki. We say Jalaki, but everybody says Cherokee. And as a linguist myself, English is such a bully language where it bastardizes these Indian terms. What's Minnesota is Minnesota, which is duck or smoky water. Wisconsin is not Wisconsin, as I can say it.
You say it in a funny way.
Mishkonsin, the land of dark waters. Milwaukee is Menominee Indian for Milwaukee, but Milwaukee means land by the beautiful lake. That's debatable because it's all
it's the land of sky blue waters.
Yeah, so
the old Ham's beer commercial.
Oh God, yeah. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, it's America is what it is. I'm not making fun of America. I love America. It's my land. Everybody's land. But it's changed, and we all have to adapt. People coming who are persecuted became the persecutors. That's changing too. So,
by the way, this picture I threw up here is when they discovered the lost colony, and they found the cryptic message Croatoa.
Wow,
written on the tree.
Croatoa.
That's what that's depicting.
And that reminds me, Scotty, of some place I've wanted to see. I've seen the pyramids outside of Memphis, Chucalissa, occupied, but in Ohio, the Ohio Valley are the Snake Mounds. Do you see these?
That's about 20 minutes from my dad's house in outside of Cincinnati.
Yep. I would love to see that.
It's in Peebles, Ohio. Way out in the middle of nowhere, and that's it's about 20 minutes from my dad, who's in New Vienna, Ohio, which is about 45 miles outside of Cincinnati.
Nice.
So,
So there's a lot of people don't know, but if they look in their own backyard, they're going to find a lot of artifacts, mounds, things of that nature. And that's the sad thing, Matthew, is that Americans don't know their own history. These gentlemen do, but they're rare in that sense. Most people, and I've been a
Completely blind to it. Most people.
tour guide,
you got to play.
and
Oh.
people that are from other countries, foreigners, they are the ones that are more interested in the history of America, unless you're a
American
reenactor.
origins.
Scotty or Dave.
Oh,
Yeah.
we were at an event. We were talking about the Pequot and what the British did to the Pequot, utilizing the Iroquois to pretty much stomp them out. And there was a British school teacher there, and she said, "Well, that's not true." And we went, "Oh, yes, it is. Here's the source material." You know, she had no idea that her people had done this. But that was the British way. You're not going to be able to have your culture. You can't use your language. You can't use your dance. You can't use your clothing. You can't use anything. They completely crushed a culture when they wanted to get rid of it.
Well, I wondered.
Yeah, because the Lakota people, they have like what they call it, medicine men in their tribes as well too. Because Tashanko Bitko, Crazy Horse's father, was also a medicine man as well. I read about that recently, and there's a guy called Joseph Marshall. He wrote a book on Tashanko Bitko, Crazy Horse, and
2 minutes.
he even said that when he was a little boy growing up, and so he sometimes noticed that some of the reservation people, like they were trying to stamp down on the Native American, Lakota history and cultural setting, and so that type of thing. Yeah, he mentioned that in his book.
Dave said it right. And speaking of that British, just real quick, I'll wrap it up here, Scotty. The slogan was, when they couldn't kill us military-wise, and Seminole and Sioux, or Lakota, my people, were the only two people to defeat the U.S. government in warfare.
Right.
Person has.
Right.
The Little Bighorn is one place.
Yeah.
The you can't.
Breezy grass. That's what. Yeah.
They sent in the Christians then, and then the slogan was "Kill the Indian, save the man." That was the slogan.
Right.
And like the British did, they were going to take away your culture, your language.
Well, and that's what they did with the Christian schools. We're going to take your children. We're going to Anglicify them as much as we can, and cut their hair and make them have English names and all this stuff. And it's horrific.
Now they're
finding mass graves at these schools where these kids were dying in droves and they didn't tell anyone.
This is the similar situation the comparison I've made historically to the Scottish clans and the Highland clearance.
Yep, they did the same thing to the Scots.
Kill the Scot, save the man.
Yep.
And anyway, folks, we've got to end on that note.
Okay, thanks.
Matthew, good to see you, brother.
Thanks
you have
very
a good
much.
day.
Good seeing you, Matthew. Good seeing you, Ruben.
If you put the link up, Dave. Yeah, likewise, Dave. Dave.
I just put the link up a couple of minutes ago, and the ID and all of that stuff. If people need it, and so you can go hear Ruben in about 20 minutes over at that link to his language class. And wait, we got one last question here. Catherine Best question: at a Civil War reenactment, I looked past the field and saw a row of Indians on their horses watching. They were ghosts, but not ghosts. What are the natives' beliefs on this? Now, that's a whole show, Catherine, but Ruben, you got 1 minute to answer that.
Okay, I'm going to say this. If you stop and look outside, the old people say, in my language, they look out. When you look out in nature and you slow down your life and you're not, worried about the routine of the day and bills and yada yada, you look within and you will see things that you will not see normally, and you question it, and people think, in dreams, ceremony, things like that, when you're consciously there and aware, you will see things that nobody else will see.
And Ruben and Dave, maybe you and I and Raini should go do this sometime down in Le Sueur, Minnesota. There is a place I've been told by a couple of different people. I think it was Leon Stanzalone told me this for the first time, that there's a place there where you can look across the meadow, and at a certain time at night, you can see a whole band of Indians on horseback and foot crossing. And it's
Oh,
been
very cool.
seen a couple of different times by a couple of different. He saw it himself, so we'll have to check that out. But this is a topic we'll take up. Maybe you can come
Hey,
on one
Friday
night this
night.
week.
Friday night. It's a good topic
Let's
for
shoot
Friday
for
night.
Friday night.
I'll be on
That
Friday.
might be a good
On
night.
Friday. So that sounds good.
All
And
right,
I look
guys.
forward to the three of us getting together in person again soon. We should do
Me
that.
too. Me
And
too.
I'll bring my band of Indians. Bum, 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 bum,
Yeah,
bum.
there it is. There it is. You got a band? The band.
The band's getting back together.
Rainey said there better be a jug involved.
There you go.
I will make sure there is.
There you go.
All right, Ruben, Misu, I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you,
Have a good
Chad.
day. Have a good class. And Uncle Dave,
Yep.
I love you too.
Out of
Oh, I
here.
got to ask you. I've been meaning to ask you this 100 times. That green screen, is that a green screen or just
It
coincidentally
is
a green
because I
screen?
do with my another organization. I do a series of not YouTube. What's the other app for doing group conversations?
Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah, Zoom calls. And so I have a green screen behind me and drop a background in for that.
All right. Well, goodbye, Dave. We'll see you
Goodbye.
later. All right. Say goodbye, Rainey. Well, I'm coming with you. So we got to go drop our son off for camp. So you all were quitting a little early today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time. I sure appreciated giving me your time. And I love you all. See you this week, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Live long and prosper. Have a good day.